I began to realise that the human body is designed to heal itself, and it will heal itself if you give it the right conditions. As I moved on, I began to see that the mind can also heal itself if given the right conditions. And I can tell you now, many, many years later, that I have seen many people conquer mental problems, healing of the mind, by implementing these simple 8 laws of health, but also implementing what we're about to look at, and that is the mental laws that govern the mind. In my research, in my study, you might have noticed I'm an avid reader. I don't have a great memory, and you might debate that, but I work very hard at my memory. Very, very hard. My husband knows I'm like a dog at a bone. I just keep at it and at it and at it till I get it. And I will be explaining those things to you as we look at the laws that govern the function of the mind. But notice that last law. To transgress his law, whether it be physical, mental or moral, is to place oneself out of harmony with the universe, to invite discord, anarchy and ruin. So adherence to law brings harmony. Now we know that that's basic science, but it is also basic common sense. I'm hesitant to drive on the road in the US because I'm used to driving on the other side of the road. We're not going to debate whether it's the wrong or the right side. But I have to say, stay to the right, stay to the right, stay to the right. Because my habit, and we're going to be looking at habits, is to go, of course, on the left side of the road. But an easy way to remember, and my stepdaughter told me this, just stay in the middle of the road, Mum. If you stay in the middle of the road, then you're okay. And it is my habit, when I leave a room, to just turn the light off. Well, did you know that in Australia, we turn the light off by switching it up? So this morning I walked out of my room and I must have switched it up, because I looked back and thought, I thought I turned that light off, and that's right, I am here. So and one of the reasons I don't really want to drive on the road, I will drive from here to Cynthia's house because it's not far and I keep telling myself to stay on the right, is because it's quite possible that when I go into automatic. Now we all know automatic, don't we? Is you're not even thinking about it. When you first start to drive, you've got all your attention on the road, on the gears, on the steering wheel. But when you know all that, you basically just go into automatic, and that can be great and that can be quite dangerous, because the research shows that when we go into automatic, that's when most accidents happen. So I'm about to go to Tennessee, and Michael was talking to one of the men there and said, you have to get her to the airport in Atlanta. And the man said, oh, we'll just hire a car for her. Michael said, no, don't give her a hire car. It could be dangerous. So the habits we're going to be looking at, but my illustration was law. When I'm in the US, I've got to abide by your laws, or it could be disaster. I could have a head-on. So abiding by law, that's basic common sense, it's basic science. So let's have a look at the 8 laws that govern the functioning of the brain. Actually, I think it's 7 laws, we'll see, that govern the functioning of the brain. Adhering to these laws will guarantee mental harmony, emotional harmony. So without any further ado, let us have a look. Number 1 is cause and effect. Now this is Newton's third law of motion, that to every action there is an equal and an opposite reaction. The law of cause and effect is all through nature, it's all through the human body. And never should the effect be blamed as the cause. And how often is it? A lady said to me, I found the cause of all my problems, I've got chronic fatigue syndrome. That's not the cause of all her problem, that's the effect. So what's the cause? Lack of oxygen at a cellular level, but there can be 100 causes why there's lack of oxygen at the cellular level. I was talking to a man in Melbourne many years ago. I said, what do you do for a job? He said, I'm a private investigator. I said, so am I. We should all be private investigators investigating why these things are so. Because Newton's third law of motion states that to every action there is an equal and an opposite reaction. It's actually not Newton's third law of motion, it's God's law. And did you know that was written in the Bible before Sir Isaac Newton declared it? It's found in In Proverbs 26 verse 2, where the Bible says the curse causeless shall not come. It's Old English. No curse happens without a cause. And also in Galatians 6 verse 7, be not deceived.